but make no mistake, Caitlin Clark is doing things beyond her years.
Caitlin Clark is way better, way sooner than anybody thought.
What happens when a superstar arrives and changes everything? When someone so special steps onto the court that even the legends of the game, past and present, can't help but take notice. Today, we're hearing from 10 WNBA stars who've seen it all, and their takes on Caitlin Clark reveal something incredible. 10 legendary voices, 10 different perspectives, one phenom who's turning the basketball world upside down. When the most accomplished players in women's basketball history speak about Caitlin Clark, their responses range from pure amazement to bold predictions about the future of the sport. Before we break it down, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's go.
She just absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon for sports fans, certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball and watching her play.
When Sabrina Ionescu and Caitlin Clark first squared off on May 16th, 2024, basketball fans witnessed something special. Two generational talents who revolutionized the college game, now facing each other as pros. Their matchup captured everything that makes basketball beautiful: deep three-point shooting, court vision, and an unstoppable competitive drive.
What Caitlin's been able to do in the college game, continuing to push it forward. She's selling out every arena she's going to, and you know, obviously the WNBA is excited to bring her in market wherever she's going to end up, and continuing to push the game. Regardless of what she's doing, she's changing the game of basketball.
Even before Clark's WNBA journey began, the freshly crowned WNBA champion emerged as one of her strongest supporters. "I'm really excited to see what she can do in the league," Ionescu declared, recognizing a kindred spirit in Clark's playstyle. But it wasn't just about their similarities. Ionescu specifically pointed to Clark's extraordinary shooting range, noting, "She has the ability to shoot from anywhere on the court, which changes the dynamics of the game." After their first battle, Ionescu's respect for Clark only grew stronger.
You know, I hosted her and her dad at Oregon on when she came to visit, so we kind of go way back, and to be able to see her do what she did in college, and you know, now being able to go up against her, I'm just excited to see what she's gonna, you know, be able to accomplish.
Throughout the season, their mutual admiration has played out publicly, with both stars celebrating each other's achievements and sharing highlights, showing how fierce competitors can become steadfast allies.
I'm not the least, you know, bit worried about what she's gonna be able to accomplish in the league. I just know she's gonna continue to work really hard and stick with it, and good things will happen to good people.
Imagine having the WNBA's greatest playmaker of all time scrutinize every aspect of your game. That's exactly what happened when Sue Bird, with her 3,234 career assists, turned her analytical eye toward Caitlin Clark's rookie season. What she discovered changed everything she thought she knew about point guards.
I watched pretty much every single one of Caitlin's games early on, because I am a fan. I do like good basketball, and of course I wanted to see how she would do. It was like, well, yeah, you have to. If you don't, she's gonna drop 35 on you.
Drawing from her 2 decades of WNBA experience and 4 championship rings, Bird's analysis carried particular weight. She saw something special in Clark's game that set her apart from typical freshmen: an innate understanding of court spacing and timing that usually takes years to develop. What truly caught Bird's attention was Clark's exceptional court vision and decision-making abilities. While most first-year players struggle with the increased speed of the pro game, Clark showed a veteran's composure in finding teammates and creating opportunities. Bird noted that Clark's ability to elevate her teammates' performances stood out as a rare quality for such a young player.
So yeah, as I mentioned, Kelsey Mitchell's balling, Caitlin continuing to impress, and just, she's gonna break records nonstop for the next couple years. Yeah. It's just gonna be a constant record break.
Looking ahead, Bird's assessment of Clark's potential left no room for doubt. She emphasized that Clark's ceiling remains incredibly high, suggesting that we're only seeing the beginning of what could be a transformative WNBA career. Fresh off her own meteoric rise in the WNBA, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Napheesa Collier watched Clark's college career with a unique understanding of what awaits in the pros. Before Clark even entered the draft, Collier recognized something special in the Iowa and Indiana Stars game. Her ability to shoot from deep changes the dynamic of the game and puts pressure on defenses, Collier observed. noting how Clark's range forces defenders to adjust their entire strategy. Here's Collier now talking about Clark after her first season.
It's just so crazy because the growth that Caitlin has brought to the game, the sheer amount of money that she's making these teams, people are having to move their venues for when she comes to play. I think she deserves that. I think she should be one of the top players in the world just for the sheer numbers that she's bringing. So I think that's something that needs to change, and that's what we're trying to do.
Through their multiple head-to-head matchups, Collier witnessed firsthand the competitive fire that drives Clark. You can see her determination on the court. She plays with a fire that is contagious to her teammates, she remarked, highlighting the intangible impact Clark brings beyond just statistics. The term generational talent gets thrown around often, but what happens when one genuine revolutionary player evaluates another? Fresh off her broadcasting duties, Candace Parker broke down Clark's game with the precision of someone who knows exactly what it takes to dominate from day one.
And I think that's what she's done for the game, you know, in general. I don't say women's basketball, I say the game of basketball, period. You want to see a show, and I think that that's the biggest thing. You always talk about Steph being a showman. I mean, this is a showman right here.
Yes.
You're able to have sellout crowds to come and see you play. You have student sections that hate you, that want you to lose. That's what sports is, and that's what competition is, and Caitlin's brought all of that and some.
As the first player in WNBA history to win MVP honors as a rookie, Parker's analysis of Clark carries unique weight. Her assessment goes beyond just stats and highlights. She sees something transformative in Clark's approach to the game. She's changed the game not just for women's basketball, but for basketball as a whole, Parker declared, recognizing Clark's broader impact on the sport.
Listen, you talk about players that change the game when they're on the court, whether they're touching the ball or not, you have to guard her when she steps into the gym. And so I don't think we've seen anything like that in women's basketball. I've played against a number of great shooters.
Yes.
Somebody that when they walk in the gym, you have to guard them. And I think the way the game is played has allowed her to showcase that skill, to be able to take that shot. That shot's being a good shot. It speaks to where basketball is right now.
What stands out most to Parker is Clark's exceptional basketball IQ, noting her ability to make plays that showcase understanding well beyond her years. Combined with her unprecedented shooting range, Clark forces defenses to completely reshape their strategies, creating opportunities that simply didn't exist before. With continued development, she believes Clark has the potential to etch her name among the all-time greats, suggesting we're witnessing the emergence of another revolutionary force in women's basketball. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
It's just really, really cool to think about one of those little girls who became Caitlin Clark. So I think it just goes to show you, when you just do your best to be in the moment and treat people with kindness, and just be present when you can, it really makes a big difference. And looking at the type of person and leader that she can be with people.
But Parker isn't the only legend who sees greatness in Clark's future. Years before Caitlin Clark became a household name, she found herself face-to-face with her childhood idol, Maya Moore. That chance encounter would mark the beginning of a mentor-protege relationship that even Moore herself couldn't have predicted.
All I ever wanted to do was meet her. I didn't have a phone. My dad didn't have his phone, so I just ran over. It's like, can you sign my shirt? Signed my shirt, gave her a hug, ran away. It's like the most vivid memory I have of like women's basketball growing up. And like, honestly, like I still tell everybody that story because it meant so much to me. It's like so cool. I still feel like I was this tall and freaking out, and I ran across the court, gave you a hug. I know. Now I'm like taller than you. Oh my God.
From their very first meeting, Moore recognized something extraordinary in young Clark's game. The raw talent was evident, but it was Clark's approach to the game that truly caught Moore's attention. As Clark's career progressed, Moore watched with pride as her protege developed into a transformative force on the court.
Maya, how does it feel that the best player in the women's game was inspired by you?
Oh man, it's a full circle moment. I remember being 10-year-old Maya going up, hugging, Cynthia Cooper or one of the legends, and just to see that we're still continuing to be able to be connected, to be inspired by each other, to be, family, right? I love the connection.
What impressed Moore most was Clark's ability to lead and inspire her teammates. She saw in Clark the same qualities that had defined her own legendary career: the power to elevate those around her and change the momentum of any game. This connection reached its emotional peak when Moore made a surprise appearance at Clark's final regular season game at Iowa, a moment that symbolized the passing of the torch from one generation to the next.
But it is so cool to see, just little seeds like that of how we treat each other, how we enjoy each other, how we see each other, and what that means. And now she's growing up, and look at her. And it's super cool. I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of her.
Looking ahead, Moore believes Clark's impact will extend far beyond the court, inspiring the next wave of players who will shape the future of women's basketball.
I'm sitting there like, oh my God. But she's so crafty. This is what people don't know about Caitlin. She's not just a three-point shooter. She's a great passer, not a mediocre passer, not so-so. She is a great passer.
The torch wasn't just being passed. It was blazing new trails. When WNBA pioneer Cynthia Cooper watched Clark step onto the professional stage, she witnessed something that reminded her of the revolutionary spirit that launched the league decades ago. As critics questioned Clark's ability to transition to the pro game, Cooper, a two-time WNBA MVP, stepped forward with an emphatic defense. Her declaration was crystal clear. Caitlin Clark is the future of basketball. Coming from a player who helped establish the WNBA's standard of excellence, these words carried immense weight.
I wish Caitlin Clark had that experience this year because she's our future.
Cooper's analysis went beyond just silencing doubters. She highlighted Clark's complete game, emphasizing how the rookie hasn't just met expectations, she's exceeded them. Her versatility on the court and ability to impact every facet of play caught Cooper's attention.
She's just a rookie. That level of greatness, that level of play on a consistent basis as a rookie puts you up in the upper echelon of any league. Definitely the W.
What stood out most to Cooper was Clark's competitive fire. That drive, that determination to excel, reminded her of the same spirit that defined the WNBA's early pioneers. When Cheryl Miller, the player who revolutionized women's basketball in the 1980s, first watched Clark play, she found herself particularly impressed by Clark's offensive arsenal, especially her exceptional shooting range. Her shooting range is something we haven't seen in a while, Miller noted, watching as Clark consistently created scoring opportunities under intense defensive pressure.
You can set a screen for Caitlin. Caitlin don't need a screen. Caitlin's got great handles. The one thing that I don't think people really appreciate about that young lady's game, she can pass the ball.
She can't pass. She got great assists.
She
the bounce pass is powerful.
Which is almost non-existent in the game.
But what truly captured Miller's attention went beyond the stats and highlights. Caitlin is not just a player. She's a brand, Miller observed, recognizing how Clark's electrifying presence was drawing new audiences to the WNBA and transforming the league's visibility.
I hugged her. I said, I'm so proud of you. I go, savor this. Use this as a formula. I said, but keep being you. I said, no matter what, keep being you.
Looking ahead, Miller's forecast for Clark's future couldn't be clearer. If she continues on this path, she could redefine what it means to be a superstar in women's basketball. Coming from basketball royalty, this wasn't just praise. It was a passing of the crown. From one basketball legend's praise to another's precise analysis, Rebecca Lobo saw something in Clark that others missed entirely. As both a championship player and veteran analyst, Lobo's technical breakdown of Clark's game revealed patterns that would make even the most skeptical scouts reconsider everything they thought they knew. Her assessment went beyond individual brilliance, focusing on Clark's impact on Indiana's playoff aspirations.
She ends up leading the league in assists per game at 8.5, averaging 19 points a game as well. She had an absolutely remarkable rookie campaign.
Looking toward the future, Lobo's forecast carried the weight of both experience and analysis. If she continues on this trajectory, there's no telling how high she can soar in this league.
Caitlin Clark is one of the best rookie seasons we have ever seen by a player in the WNBA. She has the 5th highest assists per game average ever. She's only the 2nd rookie to lead the league in assists. The other one was Tisha Penicheiro back in 1998.
Those soaring expectations caught the attention of the WNBA's newly minted champion. when two-time MVP and three-time champion Breanna Stewart first lined up against Clark, everyone expected a veteran teaching moment. Instead, Stewart walked away from their matchup with observations that shocked even the most seasoned analysts.
Caitlin is a great player, and I think the way that she's kind of came into this league, she's continuing to hold her own and show everyone what she can do.
What impressed Stewart most wasn't just Clark's natural talent, but her dedication to the craft. You can see the work that she puts in, and it shows on the court, Stewart noted, recognizing the rookie's commitment to excellence. During their matchups, Clark's ability to create her own shot and maintain composure under pressure left a lasting impression on the MVP.
Aside from the numbers, the viewership, the attendance, the way that she plays the game, she's ultra competitive. Her ability to really stretch the floor and find her teammates, she has these games where it's like you have to guard her wherever she is.
But beyond the X's and O's, Stewart saw something transformative in Clark's presence. Caitlin has a way of electrifying the crowd, and that's something special for the league, she observed, acknowledging Clark's unique ability to energize arenas across the country. Not everyone shared Stewart's immediate confidence in Clark's abilities. When the most prolific scorer in WNBA history looks you in the eye and warns that reality is coming, it tends to stick with you. Diana Taurasi's early skepticism about Clark sparked intense debate until something unexpected changed everything.
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing.
As the season unfolded, Taurasi's perspective began to shift dramatically. Their final game, where Clark's fever swept the Mercury, forced Taurasi and everyone else to acknowledge they were witnessing something extraordinary.
Yeah, it's amazing. What Caitlin's been able to do in her short career so far has just been nothing short of remarkable. And the one thing that I really love about her, she loves the game. You can tell she's put the work in. And even, throughout, her short WNBA career, it's been a lot of pressure, a lot of things thrown at her. And, she keeps showing up and keeps getting better every single game. So her future is super bright. And, being a veteran and being in this league for a long, long time, it's pretty cool to see that and, going into the future.
Now, their relationship reflects a mutual understanding between two generations of basketball greatness. Where doubt once lived, there's now recognition of Clark as a transformative force in women's basketball, exactly the kind of player the WNBA needs to push the game forward. When 10 of basketball's greatest minds come together to praise a rookie, it's clear we're witnessing something extraordinary. From Ionescu's early support to Taurasi's dramatic change of heart, these legends recognize what Clark brings to the game. Their collective endorsement speaks volumes about her potential to transform the sport. The Indiana Fever, once struggling to find their footing, are now playoff contenders. Clark isn't just breaking records or filling arenas, she's inspiring a new generation of players and elevating the entire profile of women's basketball. The legends have spoken, and the future of the game has never looked brighter. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.